Consider a discrete time system with input x of n and output y of n. The input-output relationship for the system is yn is equals to x of n into x of n minus 2. And we have to find out that whether the system is memoryless system, whether we have to determine if the output of the system, we have to determine the output of the system when the input is a times delta n, where a is any real or complex number and c is that whether the system is invertible. Let us start the solution now. We have first point a, whether the system is memoryless or with memory. Okay, so by looking at the equation, y of n is equals to x of n into x of n minus 2. Okay, x of n into x of n minus 2. We can say that the system is not memoryless. Not memoryless. Because we can see that here xn minus 2 has been given. Okay, xn minus 2, it is nothing but the past input sample. Past input sample. Okay, and what is the definition of memoryless system? So the system is said to be memoryless system or a static system if its output depends upon the present input samples. Okay, but in this case we have output yn is equals to nothing but x of n, which is nothing but a present sample multiplied by the past sample, that is x of n minus 2. So we can say that the system is not memoryless, or we can say that the system is dynamic. The system is dynamic. The second problem, that is our b. Okay, so this b states that we have to determine the output of the system when the input is a times delta n. Okay, so let us consider that input has been given here, or for example, or you can say that x of n has been given as a times delta n, and we have to find out y of n. Okay, so what is y of n? Y of n is nothing but x of n into x of n minus 2. Okay, put here x of n is equals to a times delta n. So a times delta n into a times delta n minus 2. And what is that? That is equals to a square into delta n into delta n minus 2. What is delta n? Delta n is nothing but unit impulse, or you can say this is your unit impulse system, that is delta n. And what is its value? Its value is equals to 1 for n is equals to 0, and its value is equals to 0 otherwise. This is the definition, standard definition of delta n. And what is delayed sample of delayed sample by 2? Delta n minus 2. How it is? Its value is equals to 1 for n is equals to 2, and that is equals to 0 otherwise. So you can see that the value of this delta n is equals to 1 only for n is equals to 0. Only for n is equals to 0. For this particular sample, its value is equals to 1, and for other samples or other n, its value is equals to 0. Similarly, delta n minus 2, its value is equals to 1 only for n is equals to 2. Okay, only for n is equals to 2, and it is equals to 0 all for all other n. So let us coming back to this. So yn is nothing but a square into delta n. I am rewriting it into delta n minus 2. Okay, so when you put n is equals to 0, okay, when you put n is equals to 0, you will get y of 0. Okay, and what is that? Y of 0, it is equals to 0. Why? Because delta n is equals to 1, but delta n minus 2 is equals to 0. That's why for all the n, we will get yn is equals to 0. Okay, so that is what the problem has been asked. The problem was that we have to identify or find out the output of the system, find out the output of the system when input is a times delta n. So output of the system is 0. Okay, now number point C is whether the system is invertible or not. So for that purpose, See, so you must understand the definition of invertibility. So a system is said to be invertible. A system is said to be invertible if if unique input results in unique output. Unique input results in unique output, or in otherwise we can say that any distinct input if we provide to the system, then it should produce a distinct output. But but you can see that in this case, or you can say that the system output y of n is equals to 0 for input delta n minus k. So whenever we have this input, that is delta n minus k in the system, okay, so delta n minus k for input in the form, you can say in the form delta n minus k, the system output is always 0. The system output is always 0. This implies that the system is non-invertible. This implies that the system is non-invertible. Fine. Now let us consider another problem. Let us consider another problem. So the problem has been given is that a continuous time system, with input x of t and output y of t related by, with input x of t and output y of t related by. Okay, so A, whether the system is causal or whether the system is linear. So y of t has been given. Okay, y of t is nothing but x times sine of t. Okay, so I'm rewriting it. Y of t is equals to x of sine of t. X of sine of t has been given. Okay, so this is the equation, and we have to identify whether the system is causal system, whether the system is linear or not. Okay, so let us solve it. So what is the causality principle, or what is the causality? The system is said to be a causal if the output at any time is depends upon, if output at any time depend upon present input and past input. If output is depend upon present input or past input, on past input only, okay, present and past only, then we are calling this system as causal system. Okay, but in this case we have to check whether the system is causal or not. Let us consider, let us find out the value of y of t at t is equals to 0. So when you put t is equals to 0, okay, I don't know whether for t is equals to 0, y of t is equals to, what is y of t? When you put t is equals to 0, sine of 0, is equals to 0, so y of t is equals to 0. Okay, as you can say sine of 0 is equals to 0. Okay, now put t is equals to another instance. Okay, another instance of time. So I'm putting t is equals to, let us say, minus pi by 2. Then what is y of t? Y of t is equals to, put t is equals to minus pi by 2 here. Okay, so y of t is nothing but minus 1, as sine of minus or plus pi by 2 is equals to minus 1. Fine. Again, if we put t is equals to, you can see that this is not, y of t is equals to x of 0. Okay, y of t is nothing but x of minus 1. You can see that this sample, that is x of minus 1, okay, when we put t is equals to minus pi by 2, we will have this is your future sample. This is your future sample. When t is equals to minus pi, we will get y of t is equals to y of minus pi is equals to x of what is x of, what is t is equals to minus pi. Put t is equals to minus pi, you will get x of 0. Fine. So I will rewrite it. So y of 0 is equals to x of 0. Y of minus pi by 2 is equals to x of minus 1. Y of minus pi is equals to x of 0. Okay. So you can see that this value y of minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, this t from minus pi by 2, when we replace this t from minus pi by 2, so it depends upon the future input. X of 0 is nothing but future input. Okay, so we can say that this system is non-causal. We can say that the system is non-causal. What is the second form? What they have asked, whether the system is linear or not. Whether the system is linear or not. So we have to check the linearity. So for checking the linearity principle, we must know that when the system is linear, the system is said to be a linear if it follows the superposition principle. That means it follows the additivity as well as the homogeneity property. So let us consider this is a system that is y of t is equals to y of t is equals to, what is that? It is equals to t times, no, it is equals to x of sine of t. Okay, let us consider, let us consider let us consider two input. Okay, to check the Prince homogeneity, you can say additivity property, we require two inputs. Let's consider two input, that is x1 of t and x2 of t. That is x1 of t and x2 of t. So transformation applied on x1 of t, which will gives me y1 of t, which is equals to x1 of sine of t. Remember here, x1 of sine of t. Transformation applied on x2 of t, which will gives me y2 of t, which is equals to x2 of sine of t. Is that clear? Now we have x3 of t. We have x3 of t, which is nothing but the linear combination of these two. That is nothing but y1 of t. Okay, a1 y1 t plus a2 y2 t. a1 y1 t plus a2 y2 t. That is equals to a1 x1 of sine of t plus a2 x2 of sine of t. That is equals to, okay, so this is your y3 of t, you can say. So transformation you have applied on x3 of t, which will gives you y3 of t. Okay, so you can refer any nomenclature. Okay, this is y3 of t. Okay, now what is y dash 3 of t? Is nothing but transformation applied on x3 of t. Transformation applied on x3 of t, that is nothing but a1 x1 t plus a2 x2 t. So y dash 3 is nothing but transformation applied on x3 of t, which is equals to a1 x1 t plus a2 x2 t, and which is equals to your a1 x1 of sine of t plus a2 x2 of sine of t. Fine, and which is nothing but your y3 of t. Your y3 of t. So what does this means? y3 dash of t, y3 dash of t is equals to y3 of t. This implies the system is linear. The system is linear. That's all for today's class. We will take another few problems in the next class. Thank you.